If you're thinking about moving and you want to learn about what everyday life is going to be like in your new town, this is the place for you. On Open House, we sit down with local, top producing real estate agents to help you find the best places to live in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you don't want buyer's remorse and you want to find your dream town, we are here for you. So go ahead and book a free call with us and we'll help guide you to the area that is right for you. Now, let's jump in and learn about your new home.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Living in DC. My name is Zach, and today we have Realtor Pam Surratt with us. We are going to be talking about Oxon Hill, Maryland, which is a really cool place. Pam, how about you introduce yourself? How long have you been an agent, and what do you love about living in Oxon Hill?
I have been in real estate for over 10 years. I was first licensed in North Carolina, and then I moved back to the Washington, D.C. area and have recently received my license for Maryland.
Well, that's cool. And what keeps you living in Oxon Hill?
So what keeps me living in the Oxon Hill area is that I am originally from this area. I know that it's a great area to live in, and that is what keeps me here. And it's growing and it's thriving.
Well, that's always good. So growth a lot of times connects to economics. So I'm curious about what people do for work in Oxon Hill. Do they work in Oxon Hill or are they working other places? What does that look like?
So first of all, Oxon Hill is located in Prince George's County, and it runs along Maryland Route 210, as well as Route 414, which is Oxon Hill Road. And
Hmm.
then we're located right outside the Beltway, 95 and 495. So a lot of people commute to different areas within Washington, D.C., as well as Maryland and Virginia. So there are government jobs, state jobs, retail jobs. So there's a lot of different areas that people work in.
Hmm. What would you say is the biggest provider of work in Oxon Hill specifically?
The biggest provider of work is government.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's federal government, DC government, and state government.
Wow. A lot to choose from. That's cool. So Pam, do you know what the median income is for the area?
So the median income from the area can roughly be anywhere from the mid 50s all the way up to 100,000 a year.
Okay. That's not too bad at all. What about the median home price in Oxon Hill?
So the median home prices in Oxon Hill range from anywhere from 350, and it depends what you're looking for, and it can always go up to close to $1 million, because we have homes in older communities, and then we have the newer community, which is down in the National Harbor area.
Cool. So tell me about National Harbor. I've heard a little bit about it. It's new to the Oxon Hill area relatively. What is there and what's so special about it?
So the National Harbor is a major development over off of the Potomac River. It's over 7 million square feet in area. It has over 4,000 hotel rooms, over 2,500 residential units, condos and townhomes. So it's kind of a mixture of retail and a community, but the community is on the back end of the retail shops and restaurants, that it gives you that privacy. And
Yeah.
there's also the MGM National Harbor Resort and Casino there as well.
So there's retail, there's shopping, there's casino, there's housing, and like, is it condos or is it just hotel rooms or?
No, so there's townhomes and there are condominiums.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So is National Harbor where people tend to go to have fun in Oxon Hill, or are there other things to do as well?
Of course, there are other things, but National Harbor is the new hip kind of
Mhm.
social strip that everyone goes to. There's a little something for everyone there. We also have the Gaylord National Convention Center over there as well. So they host a lot of family activities.
Mm.
They're gearing up for Halloween right now, but they also do things for Christmas, where they'll turn basically the whole convention center section of the hotel into a ice wonderland where kids can um, do rides, bumper cars on ice. There are different types of shows, cooking demonstrations, visits with Santa. It's fantastic.
That's really cool. So it seems pretty family friendly in the area. Is the demographic mostly like young families, or is it a good mix? Can you tell me about that?
So it's a good mix. It's a mix of um, your young millennials who are first time home buyers coming
Mm.
in because it's a great price point to start at. And then you have people that have just been here for years, like my family, and this is just where we're rooted. So it's a mixture.
Hmm. I know that a lot of people enjoy the community aspect of having everyone from retirees to young families with children. So, especially for that demographic, how many schools do you have within Oxon Hill? Are they just public, or are they private, or what are some of the main schools?
So we have several county schools that belong to the Prince George's County Public School System, and they are zoned. So, which means that you have to live in a certain area to attend these schools.
Hmm.
We have elementary schools such as Apple Grove, Avalon Elementary, Oxon Hill Elementary, just to name a few. For middle schools, we also have Oxon Hill Middle and Thurgood Marshall, Isaac Gordine Middle School. And then for high schools, Oxon Hill High School and Crossland High School and Friendly High School pretty much serve the area. Oxon Hill High School is pretty special because it is a magnet school. So it's based on science and technology, and kids have to have a certain qualification to attend that school.
Gotcha. So all of those schools are zoned. Are there any schools in Oxon Hill that aren't, that are public or private or charter?
So we do have private schools. There are some charter schools in the area. There are Catholic schools. St. Columbia, which was founded in 1962, is one of the oldest Catholic private schools in Oxon Hill.
That's really cool. So there's history even attached to a school out there. Is there any other history in Oxon Hill specifically that makes it interesting?
Well, just Oxon Hill itself was named after the colonial 18th manor home of Thomas Edison. The
Hmm.
original home burned down back in like 1895. It was replaced in 1929 by a large 49-room Neo-Georgian style home, which is Oxon Hill Manor, and it's currently standing and it overlooks the Potomac River. So that manor is now owned by Maryland National Park and Planning Commission, and it's used for cultural events, and also it's rented out for weddings and other special social occasions.
Whoa. So it's an older home that burned down, got
Mhm.
rebuilt, and now it's an event venue pretty much.
Yes, and it was the home of Thomas Edison, right?
Huh. That's really cool. That's a cool bit of history. I know the DC area has a lot of rich history, regardless of where you're at. But I always like learning about the individual things with these cities. So that's really cool. Um, I'm curious about nature because I know that the DC area is very nature centric. You get a really good mix of urban and nature. Can you tell me about what that balance looks like in Oxon Hill?
So we have a number of parks and recreation. We have Rosecroft Raceway. We have Henson Creek Golf Course, which is a 9-hole course. And it is a recreational attraction. just because it's golf.
Mm.
Um, and we have Tucker Road, which is for ice skating. And then we are adjacent to some of the other fitness facilities, like Allentown Splash Park. It also has an indoor pool.
Oh, cool. So that's a lot to do for families as well, which is great. What about the Potomac? Because you mentioned that National Harbor is right on the Potomac River.
Mhm.
Um, is there any recreational boating out there, or what can you do?
So yeah, you can take your boats out on the Potomac River. Lots of people do it on nice days, holidays such as the 4th of July. It's a great view to see the fireworks at the National Mall. You can also take water taxis from National Harbor over into DC, into the wharf, which is another nice area to visit. And it's similar to the National Harbor Project, but it's located
Oh,
in DC. And I believe you can also get off in Georgetown as well with the water taxi.
okay. How common is it for people to use water taxi for commuting purposes?
It's pretty popular right now, especially in when during the summer and spring months. I'm not sure how much it's utilized during the winter because it's cold.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Huh.
they'll park over at the harbor, hop on, and take it over if they work in that area.
That's really cool. How big are these boats that they take commuters on?
They're a pretty good size. It's pretty much like a taxi boat. I don't know if you've seen them before. It can
I
carry
don't
it.
think I have.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you'll have to come down to visit.
I'll have to take it. Probably not to work, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just for
cool.
a tour.
Yeah, well, that's a lot. So, and what is probably the biggest holiday celebration in the area? And are you able to see anything from DC when they do that? Or, how far away is Oxon Hill from DC in general?
So I think the biggest celebration is probably the 4th of July because that's just like a time, the fireworks,
Yeah.
everyone's celebrating. And yes, there are certain points within Oxon Hill that you can see the fireworks, and the harbor is actually one of those locations. And then the harbor does their own firework displays as well. And
Hmm,
they have a lot of entertainment down there as well.
that's cool. Oxon Hill sounds like a really cool place to be. If someone was on the fence about moving to the DC area and possibly making Oxon Hill their home, what would you say to them has been your overall experience living there?
Oh, wow. It's such a community. Everyone here is so family friendly. And we really care about our community. We're looking to um, ramp up the community to bring more retail, more food establishments, and more activities for our youth. So this is definitely a growing community, and it's a great place to, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, it's a great place to get started and rooted.
Mm. Well, and you've said that it's growing, so I would assume that's going to be raising the property values quite a bit too, right?
Absolutely. And the National Harbor has already done that for us as well. So that's why you find more people that's already owners, less likely to sell. And then you find those that are first time home buyers that come in, they roll over and they go to bigger homes in different sections of
Mm,
Oxon Hill.
gotcha. Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a really good opportunity. It's priced pretty fairly from what I'm hearing. The median income isn't too crazy for most people. So Oxon Hill sounds kind of like a hidden gem. For our viewers out there, if you're thinking about moving to the DMV area, check out our contact details in the description. You can call or text us. We would love to connect you with the best professionals in the area, like Pam, to help you make a smooth move to the DC area. So Pam, thanks for coming on and talking about Oxon Hill, and we will see you later.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for having me.